you guys have a general opinion on the Hall of Fame before we get into this? How it's run, how the induction process goes?
Yeah, okay. So I have 2 things that I wanna mention because, this is a subject that comes up every year on the show, and it's interesting how people that join me from Europe could care less because it isn't a thing in Europe at all. Um, I think that the Hall of Fame are the biggest bunch of trolls that exist. Why? Because every induction has to have some type of drama, something that's clickbait worthy to draw people to debate, to argue, and seeing just the shit that they stir up on a yearly basis. I think that it's all deliberate. It's all deliberate and planned out. I think because they know that they can rile Eddie Trunk. Uh,
And they can.
and to an extent, is Eddie in on the joke? So, naming of the place aside, I do think that it should be called the Music Hall of Fame, not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because I think that and when you interview people or you get to read people's bios or whatever, uh, a lot of bands aren't listening to just the music that they're playing. Okay, there are bands that I absolutely love. There's bands like Fear Factory, there's bands like Nine Inch Nails that cross over and pull in different styles of music. I think a band like Depeche Mode, who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, should be in there or in some type of Hall of Fame because their music bleeds over and permeates into different styles of music. I don't think you have bands like Korn, Deftones, some of the others that I've mentioned without the lyrical content that they touch upon, some of the instrumentation that they've used in their music. I think a band like a Duran Duran, for example, who's in there, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Back in the 80s when we watched MTV initially, it was a hodgepodge of different styles. They weren't pigeonholing people into, you can only listen to this, you can only listen to that. When I was a kid and I listened to WNEW, which was quote unquote a rock station, they were playing Springsteen, they were playing Prince, they were playing Madonna, they were playing Duran Duran, they were playing all different types of music. There are some bands that were pop bands, but had kind of a rock feel to them as well. And it got people, maybe they were like a gateway for certain people in the 80s to get into some types of music. And then it led them over to Kiss or got them over to Metallica or stuff like that. So I do think that there are bands that deserve to be in there that aren't necessarily rock or metal. Having said that, it's a travesty that certain rock bands are not in there. Iron Maiden come to mind. Motorhead come to mind. Motorhead will probably never be in there because of sales. Um, a band like Megadeth should be in there. A band like Anthrax should be in there. And without Anthrax, you can talk to the end of the earth about Run DMC and Aerosmith doing Walk This Way all you want. The track that split everything open was Bring
Public Enemy and Anthrax.
and it was Public Enemy and Anthrax. It
Yeah.
wasn't Aerosmith and Run DMC. That got that to the general public. That was a cute thing on MTV, and it mad props to them on that. But the thing that spawned a subgenre was Public Enemy and Anthrax. So
Shit, dude, I do you one better. Before Public Enemy and Anthrax and before Run DMC and Aerosmith, there was Paul Stanley rapping on All Hell's Breaking Loose.
I am cool. I am the breeze.
It's the first rap that I can find on any rock or hard rock song. It came from Kiss. Kiss Army, we work hard on this podcast and try to give you the best content possible. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Also, the podcast is now on all the podcast platforms. So please like and follow us there and give us some 5-star reviews. It really helps us out.
And while you're there, let us know if there's any Kiss related subjects you would like us to cover in the future episodes and helps us build the hooligan community.